Hello! It's Amanda here from Amanda Moments, and it's time for our February Golden Vlog. And this month is all about love, and not just significant other love, but everyone who we love, and kind of giving some recognition to those who are meaningful in our lives. So this will be a fun topic for February, just before Valentine's Day. So it's Saturday night right now, and I'm recording this on a whim. I'm supposed to be doing some freelance writing, but just not inspired right now. And I'm trying to catch up on things, so I'm in my jammies, jammy pants, and snuggled in on the couch and thought I'd record this. Anyway, so let's go to the questions. The first one is, do you have plans for celebrating Valentine's Day this year? And we don't really have many plans. I think kind of for the first time in a long time. Last year, we went on a kind of vacation to Grand Forks because it was our dating anniversary was on February 9th. So we always just kind of celebrated Valentine's Day in with that. And after we got past the 10-year mark of being together, we kind of figured it's time to stop celebrating the dating anniversary. So now that it's really just Valentine's Day, you'd think we'd want to do more for it, but we're really not doing much. My husband actually has to work for a few hours that day, which kind of sucks. But that's okay. And not that I totally agree with the Valentine's Day as a marketing scheme, but I just think that you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket for, loving on your spouse one day. Just spread it out throughout the year. And I mean, we'll celebrate the occasion somehow. I'll probably make a nice dinner, and we'll have some wine, and that's about it. Don't need to do anything too fancy. Save your money, right? So if you're married or if you have a significant other, tell us about them. What do you love most about your partner? So I am married. I've been for about 2.5 years now. And my husband's name is Cal. We've been together, like I kind of mentioned, for actually 11 years now. Met in college, and he is hilarious. He's really funny, and he's extremely outgoing, unlike me, which kind of balances me out. That's why I love him. He's the yin to my yang. And he's a good husband. Who taught you the best lessons about love growing up? Actually, I think that my best friend's parents were a really great example of love. They were just a really adorable couple, and you could tell that they just, even after, 30 some years of being together, they clearly still had the spark. And I always laughed when she would allude to them being intimate, and it was kind of weird, at the time, being, a teenager and stuff around hearing that, but it was nice to see that they still had that going, which is weird, but it was a healthy example of a committed relationship, and I think that's good for kids to see. So if you had one relationship advice tip, what would it be? What would it be? I think it would be to not just listen to your spouse, but to really hear them, to understand them. I've realized lately that's something I'm not great at, and I'm really working hard at it. I tend to kind of hear what Cal's saying, but it doesn't always go as deep as it should, and I'm often just thinking of what I'm gonna say next, or my mind is, thinking about what to make for dinner, or what to get from the store later, or something that happened at work earlier, and I'm not always just really there. when I need to be. And so, just give it your all. Because, at least to me, your relationship is kind of your all. It's the most important thing in your life. I really want to, do what I can to make it the best it can be. Because work is okay. But really, life is about the people you love. So, tell us about your parents. What did they do and what do you admire about them? So my mom actually had me when she was 40. Both my parents were 40. So they're a little bit older than most, my friends' parents were. But, I mean, it was kind of nice because they had a perspective that, that other parents didn't. And it was kind of hard at times because of that kind of extra gap between us. But, now looking back, I think it was kind of special. And it showed me that you don't have to rush into things. But my mom was, actually, both my parents worked for the phone company. My dad for AT&T. And I don't even remember who my mom worked for, but I know that she was the switchboard operator back in that day. And she retired when she had me. And then when I was in junior high, she went back to work as a librarian. And she loved it, and she actually just a couple months ago retired for good. And I'm really proud of her for, finally doing what she wants in life. And so my dad worked for AT&T for 40 years or something crazy. He retired for good when I was in junior high. And ever since then, he's always kind of been a outdoorsy guy. He loves going out in his barn and playing with we used to have horses, and he still, even though he sold them when I was in elementary school, he still has all their saddles and stuff, and you go out in the barn and I think reminisce about those days, and takes pride in mowing the yard and keeping up around the house and having hobbies. And so did you know your grandparents very well? I guess in my family the thing is just to have children late in life, because my parents were 40 when I was born, and my grandparents were also, I think, late 30s, maybe even 40 when they had my parents. So they were, in their 80s when I was in junior high. Or before then. But they all died when I was around junior high. I think 14 is when I recall the last one going. And I really wish I would have had more time with them. But I am glad that I got to know them. So they were all, I actually only knew 3 of my 4 grandparents, because my dad's father died before I was born, so I never had the chance to meet him. But the other 3, they were all sweet people, and I really, really liked being with them. My mom's father was a baker at Notre Dame, which was really nice, and we have his coffee cake recipe still in the family. And he just loved kids, and he loved me, and he would take me out in the woods back behind their house, and he would, build tree houses for me, and cleared walking paths, and would sit by the fire outside with me and actually carve little tiny acorns into little baskets. And my dad's mom, she was a hoot. She was something else, but I think she's where I got my love of the English language and spelling and grammar, and she loved reading and reading to me, and I remember like in car rides with her, she would gift me spelling quizzes, like just for fun. So, yeah, she was fun. And even up to like 85, she would go down the slides at the park with me. She was a kid at heart. Do you have any children? What are their names and ages, if so? Well, I don't. No human kids yet. Maybe in the future. Right now I just have fur kids, but I'll wait to tell you about them because that's the last question. Who was your best friend growing up? My best friend growing up was the ones with the parents in love. Her name was Amanda, also, which is funny, so we would call ourselves Amanda Squared, and we've been friends since before we were 1. Our parents met from church. You know, we were both in the same nursery at church, so our moms became friends, and then therefore we became friends, and then became inseparable. Pretty much all the way from there up to high school when I moved away, but she's still a best friend. We had lots and lots of years of being together. Did like everything together. I was an only child, so she is pretty much like my sister. Who is your bestie now? So Amanda is my best friend from home in Indiana. But I did make a best friend up here in Fargo, which is good to have someone here. And her name is Meredith, and she's pretty much been my longest friend up here. We met when I was in college at my first college job. When I wrote obituaries at the paper, she had just gotten promoted at the paper, and so she trained me into her old job in obituaries when she moved on to becoming a copy editor. So, and then been good friends ever since. Do you have pets, and tell us about them? So I have 3 pets here in Fargo, 2 cats and 1 dog, and 1 cat is here, so I'm going to wake her up because she's napping. So here's little girl. Hi! She's sleepy apparently, but she is the goofiest one of them all. She's really strange. Oh, but she's lovely. She's the only one who lets me do things like this to her. I hold her like a baby. She doesn't always like it, but she tolerates it, so that's cool. And then I also have a cat, Captain. He's my oldest pet. We think he's 14. We don't really know the ages of any of our pets. They're all from the shelter. So. And I got them all as adults because, you know, those aren't the ones who typically get homes. All the kittens and the puppies go, so I wanted adults. Plus then, you know, they're not into as much stuff. And my dog Brick, I've written about him a decent amount on the blog. He's actually a little sick right now and has been for a while, and the poor guy just can't seem to get better. He's had well, you can go find the post if you want to know what's going on with him, but he's adorable and we love him too. He's a boxer pit mix, and actually you would think that he'd be really active considering the breeds that we're pretty sure he is, but he's really calm. He's a great apartment dog. So, yeah. Love my fur babies. So that's the last question. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. And please come back next month and watch again. And if you blog as well, please record your own blog and come link up with us. It's always really fun to do these. So thanks for watching. Bye.